Alrighty, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and we just had another Nintendo Direct that was a lot longer than last week's 7-minute Pokemon Nintendo Direct. I understand why they kind of separated and they did one last week because they want to talk about Pokemon turning 20 years old. But I think that they should have just done a Nintendo Direct all at the same time. Anyway, let's talk about this one. This one, they kind of just had, it just felt like they were showing still a lot of stuff that we had known previously, with a few new reveals. One of them I expected them to kind of like really talk about and be like, oh my god, we're making this kind of game on the Wii U. But it just kind of seemed like, oh, we're making this for the Wii U. Anyway, let's start this off with Star Fox Zero. Star Fox Zero in this trailer looked amazing. The colors were so vibrant, and it really reminded me of Star Fox 64, just with updated graphics for the Wii U. It looked really fun. The only negative to this is that my hype for the game is here until I realize that it's with the Wii U gamepad, in terms of you have to use the Wii U gamepad to kind of control and look at what you're shooting, as in a first person with the Wii U gamepad, which I think is just atrocious. We haven't had a proper Star Fox game in such a long time that it's so frustrating, because this game looks so much fun, but it's unfortunately probably going to be ass to a lot of people. Not to everyone, obviously. Some people might really like this idea that you're kind of watching on the TV where you fly around and then actually shoot in first-person view, like in the cockpit with the Wii U gamepad. But it looks horrible when I think about that. Anyway, next up, and then they talked about Star Fox Guard, which was this like little puzzle game that comes with Star Fox Zero, and that kind of looked kind of fun. I might actually be more excited for Star Fox Guard, only because the controls for that aren't. It's kind of like how Ghostbusters with the new trailer. It's really against everything that we know about Ghostbusters. Star Fox Zero is kind of everything that goes against Star Fox, because it's different controls. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking way too much. But anyway, Star Fox Guard is coming with Star Fox Zero, so that's kind of cool. Then they had some Splatoon updates. Really cool that they're still really pushing forward with the Splatoon game and free DLC all the time. Or updates, I guess. And then they had Mario and Sonic, the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. I didn't care for this. I don't know that many people that do. Then they showed a Super Mario Maker update. That was kind of cool. Then they had the Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I don't remember what this was. Probably wasn't that impressed by it. Then they had Lost Reavers. That looked kind of cool. Reminded me just of, I don't know, like maybe a Monster Hunter game. And if that's on the Wii U, which I think it was, then it's kind of cool. Although it might be just a downloadable game. Like, I don't see them actually making a physical release. I'd have to look more into this, but it looked okay for like a little multiplayer game on the Wii U. Then the next one is what I expected them to be like. Oh my god, we are making a new Paper Mario for the Wii U. Like, I thought this was going to be huge, but they kind of just said, oh yeah, and we're making Paper Mario called Color Splash. Basically, it's Paper Mario Splatoon. Instead of the regular, I wish that they would just make regular Paper Mario games. Like, the last one on the 3DS had the stickers as a gimmick, and this one has painting as a gimmick, which ties in with Splatoon, but it's always a gimmick. I just kind of wish that I actually would prefer that they make an actual sequel to Super Mario RPG instead of Paper Mario, but that's just me. And they'd have to, get together with Square again, and so that I could see there being problems. But, like, it would make money, especially if they made it probably for the 3DS than the Wii U. Maybe we'll get that with the NX. I just want another sequel. And I want another actual game in the Super Mario RPG series. Like, just strictly, the SNES game. Not any of the branch-offs that they have made on the handhelds or the Paper Mario. Next up was Pokken Tournament. If I was into fighting games, this would kind of be cool, but not really. So it's just there. Then they talked about Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, and at the time, it was yesterday that they were talking about it. So they're like, and tomorrow it'll be shipping out, and you can pick it up. And I was like, I already have it. I had this game 2 days ago, which is still really awesome that I got it that early. They didn't really show that much about Twilight Princess though. Then they had My Nintendo, which I think this was where it's the thing that kind of replaces the Nintendo Club, where if you play Nintendo games, I don't remember where you play them, but you can attribute them to getting points and buying stuff online. I think like the virtual console type of thing. That's what I was getting from this, but I'd have to look a little bit more into that. Then they had Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. Just mini games with the amiibos. That's what I got from this. Not super excited about that, but I mean, I guess it adds more to the amiibos. Honestly, this is probably a good thing because amiibos then just aren't little figures that you use for like one game. It's they're constantly doing things and adding things to making amiibos actually valuable than just being a centerpiece, you know, in the background somewhere in your videos. which is that's the way they should do it if they want to keep this going. Next up, they had Animal Crossing Amiibo cards and Isabelle Amiibo. I guess there's just an extra character and some cards as well. New Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console, Super Nintendo games. They looked freaking awesome. When they had Donkey Kong Country playing with the music on the 3DS, that looked awesome. They also showed F-Zero. I can't remember what else they showed. They showed a bunch of stuff, and I'm actually kind of excited to try these games out on the 3DS. More so Donkey Kong Country, but just so many Super Nintendo games that can now be played on 3DS. Like if they have, I didn't see it, but if they have in the lineup like RPGs like Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, which is actually 4 and 6, and Chrono Trigger, that would be freaking awesome to have that on the go in a handheld. I mean, you could get the handheld games, but like the actual Super Nintendo ports of this on the 3DS would just be amazing. Where are we here? Then they had Pocket Card Jockey. I don't remember that. Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. It's a side-scrolling shooter game, I guess, coming out for the 3DS. I think it's like a downloadable game. It wasn't that bad considering it's probably not a physical release. It might be a physical release, but I doubt it. Then they had Fire Emblem Revelations and Fire Emblem Fates DLC. So they just talked about a little bit about Fire Emblem Fates DLC. And Revelations is now available for those people that didn't get the special edition, I guess, because special edition we were able to go into that path right away. Which is cool for the people that don't have it. And they showed Hyrule Warriors Legends, which is the Hyrule Warriors for 3DS. I don't feel that Hyrule Warriors will work as well on the 3DS because it's like just an open field and it's not a big enough screen, and it really dumbed down the look of the game. Like it looks fantastic on the Wii U, and from what I'm getting from the 3DS, it doesn't look all that great. I mean, if you're a really big fan of Hyrule Warriors, or if you don't have a Wii U, then it's worth checking it out here, but if not, I don't feel like double dipping at all. They showed Disney Art Academy, which is basically they had a Pokemon or a Pikachu Art Academy, and now it's the same thing but for Disney. If you're into drawing, and it's an alright game. Then they showed Bravely Second End Layer, which looks awesome. I'm really excited to play this game. Bravely Default is one of my top 5 favorite games on the Nintendo 3DS, and I can't wait. It just seems like it's more of the same, which is not a negative at all. Although I've heard, I've seen some reviews. I think IGN had a review where they gave it like a 7.1 out of 10, and they said that the story was really lacking. If it's kind of like the same thing as the first one, then I'm perfectly fine. The big thing that I didn't like in the first one was there was a lot of repetition near the last end of the game. And if they get rid of that, I'm going to be happy with this. And if the story's as good as the first one, or close to, I'll be happy. Where are we? And they talked about Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. They didn't have the specific date, which I was assuming that they would. But I think they said spring or summer. I can't even remember now. And I'm just going by the titles. I didn't write any. I probably should have actually written the actual date. But they didn't have a specific date. They just said like spring or summer 2016, which we already knew. They showed Monster Hunter Generations, which was the next Monster Hunter game that is coming now over to the West. Like, I guess it was in Japan before, and now it's coming over here. Just more Monster Hunter stuff. Then they showed Metroid Prime Federation Force, and they said that that Metroid Prime Federation Force last time around at E3 got a lot of flack And they addressed this. They're like, yeah, there were a lot of people talked about this, and they had the actual creator talk about it and say how much that it fits into the Metroid Prime universe. Now, I will say that the new trailer actually showed a little bit more about the game, and it does look a lot funner than it did originally. Like when I first saw it, I personally wasn't super upset. Everybody else was freaking out, but I'm really not a huge Metroid fan, so for me it was just like, eh. I do think that they probably should have gone with just calling it Federation Force instead, but it doesn't have as much of a marquee value because it's like, nobody knows this name, so nobody would have paid attention to it. But it seems like it's kind of doing the opposite this time around, and it's like you're destroying Metroid Prime. So I don't know. It's a give and take. I don't know, but I will say that if this didn't have the Metroid Prime title, this game looks pretty good. I think that people just don't want it being associated with Metroid Prime. It looks better than it originally looked, so I'm still on the fence. It looks like it could be a fun multiplayer game, so I might actually pick this up. Then they had Rhythm Heaven Megamix, just more Rhythm Heaven, and last but not least, a new 3DS game called Kirby Planet Robobot, it really looks a lot like the last Kirby game, which is way up there, and I'm not going to go reach it. I can't remember what it's called, but the new Kirby that came out for 3DS in 2014, I think it was 2 years ago, basically it looks like the exact same thing, except now you can also go into a robot. And obviously there's going to be new power ups and things like that, but it looks pretty much exactly like that, like almost like a direct sequel, which isn't necessarily a negative thing, because I mean, you can't really do that much with Kirby. But it's like 2 years ago we had Kirby. I'd rather see maybe, we did have, I was going to say a Kirby on Wii U, but we did have that new Canvas Curse, I think was the one on Wii U. Anyway, so just not really a lot of big reveals. I mean, Paper Mario Color Splash would probably be the biggest one. Kirby Planet Robobot would be the second. And everything else, for the most part, we already knew, or they weren't really huge reveals. So it was an alright direct, but I was kind of left disappointed. Like, I wasn't really excited about anything that they revealed. And the time that I thought that they should, like the Paper Mario, they didn't treat it as if it was like this huge reveal, which is kind of unfortunate, because I think that they could have made it seem a little bit bigger. And now, I don't know if it won't be as noticed, because they kind of just like brush it off as just another game. So anyway, that's the Nintendo Direct from March 2016. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this, if you're excited for any of this at all. I guess I'm kind of excited for Paper Mario, kind of excited for Kirby, but these aren't like day one buys for me. And everything else we kind of knew. The biggest thing for me was Star Fox Zero looking freaking amazing, and me wishing that it had proper controls, like just the regular controls. And Star Fox Guard actually looks kind of cool. And the 3DS Virtual Console for the Super Nintendo games, that looks really cool too. So that's it. Thank you all for watching. You've been bearded in.
Beardage.